Welcome, Commanders! This is a guide for the Gunsmoke of July 2025, Berserker Barbarity. This guide is for free-to-play players who have not built their accounts and didn't max out their characters. If you want a minimalistic guide with a minimalistic approach, you are at the right place. Start by positioning your QG on the far left. Start by positioning your Sharkri on the far right, and leave Kyuha or a borrowed Klukai completely on the back. You will understand later. You can start the fight. And I will explain you throughout the fight the mechanics of this encounter. First character to be moved will be QJ. You have to use the Pressing Momentum ultimate in order to buff her support abilities. Second character to be used is Vector. You follow up with her ultimate and her skill 2. Next character to be used will be Sentarusi. Use skill 1 on the boss. Next is Sharkri. She is not fully built. You start with her ultimate and her skill 1. Keep in mind that these characters are not using rare weapons. They do not have access to all their keys. And this is specifically for players who might not have access to all the resources that you might see on other guides. We will follow up with Kyuha. I have borrowed it from one of the players in our union. You use skill 2. Position her right in front of the boss. And use her ultimate. The reason why this positioning matters is because this boss has one ability that he does at the beginning of each turn. He will attack the character that is furthest away and the character that is the closest to his center. His hitbox starts at the middle, not at one of his borders. This means that Kyuha was the closest and either QJ or Sharkri was at the furthest. Every single time he attacks your characters and uses his AoE abilities, he will apply a debuff. This debuff is called Keen Carving. At the end of each unit's turn, take damage equal to 10% of the inflictor's attack, etc., etc. Consider the debuff. If cleansed, all ally units gain Critical Cascade. What does Critical Cascade does? Critical damage is increased by 10%, maximum of 10 stacks, consider the buff, cannot be cleansed. So you need a cleanser in your squad. And for this burn team, it will be Sentarusi. You can cleanse it through her ultimate, and you can also cleanse it through her skill 2, Zukeru's Special Drink. QJ has an ability that allows her to remove a debuff from the boss, or actually one of his buffs. If we go down, if we slow down, he should have something called Rock Solid. Rock Solid makes it that if he attacks a character that has these following stacks for the critical strike, he will end up stunning them. You need a cleanser for your squad to exponentially increase your damage, and you need a debuffer or a cleanser on the boss so he does not keep stunning you. That is pretty much it. It is easier to stack your characters in front of him. This simplifies the entire encounter. In fact, you might be able to out DPS most people that will be hiding behind the corners and trying to stay behind cover. Some of his abilities will completely ignore the cover, so this is one of the few boss fights where you are actually rewarded for attempting to cheese him. We will continue with QJ. Ultimate. Vector. Skill 1. There is a cascade of special abilities. The reason why I started with QJ and Vector and didn't go with Santa Rusi to cleanse the debuff is because her afternoon tea break, her ultimate, was not available. It is only available when you have action supports from your characters. You can only do it normally on even turns. I will be now applying it to the entire squad, which will convert the debuff into a buff for our squad. We will continue with Sharkry. We'll use her ultimate twice. And we will use the skill 1. Skill 1 from Kyuha. End of turn. I did not pick the optimal buff for this squad, just to show you how much you can get if you are not putting all the chances on your side. The buffs also might change on a daily basis. I did want to put all the chances on my side, so that way it would be the most reliable guide as possible. On turn 3, boxes will spawn. You want to give them to your strongest DPS characters. We begin with QJ. We will try to get her as close as possible to the boss. We will use her ultimate. Then we will go to Sharkry. We'll pick up the ammo box. For those who don't know what it does, increase damage by 20%. This effect cannot be cleansed. This is a significant buff for the entire team. We will follow up with Vector. We will try to trim his stability. Skill 2. We will follow up with Santa Rusi. We will use skill 1. And then we will use Kyuhua, pick up the ammo box, try to be as close as possible, use the skill 2, and jump as close as possible to the boss. Then we follow up with Boil and Reduce, and we will smack the boss. If you guys are wondering what this bubble is, on the turn 3 and on the turn 5 and 7, he will apply a shield that is approximately 10% of his HP. He will also regenerate his full stability, which requires you to deal as much damage as possible in order to bring it down. The burn squad has multiple attacks. In one turn, you should be able to completely melt his stability and completely melt his shield. It should be gone now. Turn 3, we are at 2,000 points. Alright, we will continue. 2J, we will be using her ultimate. We will see the confectance index of Santa Rusi. Santa Rusi is at half of her confectance. So what I will be doing, I will be using her skill 2. The skill 2 of Santa Rusi deals damage in an AoE and heals the characters. I have removed all the debuffs, converted them into a buff for our squad. Skill 1. You will be shown at the end of the fight what keys are best for the burn team. We follow up with Sharkry. We will be using her ultimate twice. And we will do skill 1. This is not a difficult fight if you understand the mechanics. There could be other strategies that could min-max the hell out of it. This is not the purpose of this guide. It's for all of those players who don't want to try hard too much, don't want to overthink it, and end up burning themselves out for the future Gunsmokes. We are dealing significant damage on the boss. So we will start. Centarusi is at level 4 for her ultimate. So we will start with QJ. Pick up the box, give her the ultimate. Follow up with Sharkri. Pick up the ammo supply. Get back. Use her ultimate. Rinse and repeat pretty much. As you can see, it goes from 65 to 39. With the sheer amount of support attacks, we're simply melting the stability of the boss. It's really not that difficult. And now we can use the ultimate and cleanse it. Just to give you guys an idea, we are at critical cascade 10 stacks. We will go pick up the ammo box, skill 2, blink in front of the boss, and melt his face. If you do not have access to Kyuhwa, you can replace her by a B6 Lukai that is able to use her ultimate consistently if she's built for it. If you do not have Kyuhwa, you can take your best DPS. For this team to work properly, the pillars of it are Vector, QJ, and Centarusi. We will rinse and repeat. Use the ultimate. Vector's ultimate. Follow up with skill 1. Everything is nearly cleansed out. Let's just see. We'll use skill 1. Try to ditch as much damage as possible. There is currently a deluge of crits. We're dealing as much damage as possible. We end up the turn. And we continue. We do it again. This is the final turn. We are at 4,000 damage. We will go with QJ. Apply her ultimate. We will go with Centarusi. We will cleanse. Go with Sharkri. We'll pick up the ammo supply. Move her as close as possible. Ultimate, skill 1. You've seen it. End of turn. And then we move with Q-Hop, pick up the ammo box. As close as possible. Blink. Put her as close as possible to the boss. This is a completely free-to-play account. It did not start on day one. It almost never did any Gunsmoke attempt. One of my friends provided it to me. If you have been struggling in the past, doing more than 3000 damage on this boss, well, you can see right now that at least 4000 is available for every player. We're not done yet. We're still sneaking in a few support attacks, and there we go. This is the squad. Confirm. 4200. So now let's go to the refitting room. You will be shown the keys that make it possible. It's extremely important to go on QJ. So this is the most important key on QJ. Efficient planning before support action. Cleanse one buff from the target. It doesn't matter what other keys you're planning to use. This account doesn't have many anyways. You want to know which other keys I have been using, you can go for targeted training and necessary adjustment. We go on Santa Rusi. We'll go down a little bit. We'll show you the neural helix. She has not been built, but the most important one is this one. When healing an allied target with an active skill, cleanse 1 debuff. For targets with heat recovery, cleanse 1 additional debuff. This makes it so her skill 2 can cleanse, but it is not necessary. This is a plus. You can do it with her ultimate only. In fact, it will simply allow you to get the 10 stacks faster, but it's not a big deal at all. And if you want to pay attention to my vector, this vector is nearly naked. Where is she? I was using a different weapon since I had different presets, but this vector is completely naked. That is all for the video today for the Burn Squad. I will be showing you the second team with the Hydra and Corrosion. Stay tuned. We will be right back.